Whew. Good to be back, Sainers. Good to be back. Not officially, but good to do another live. It's been a while. We'll wait for a few people to tune in, and then we'll get started. But it's nice to be doing a live review after a game, after a live game where I've gone and actually been amongst supporters for the first time since August 2019. So my throat is actually sore because I think most of the people at the ground actually forgot that it was just a community series game, and thought it was round one. But that's the beauty of it. We all just got passionate. The Carlton supporters were getting into it. Sainers were getting into it. There was sledging, bad umpiring, good goals. It was just good to be back at the footy, just to get some footy food, sit and have a drink and enjoy the game and enjoy a win and hear the song again twice. So that's the main positive for me. But, that game had a bit of everything. It showed what we can do at our best. It shows where we have a bit to still work on, and you guys would know better than anyone watching the team tonight that, defensively we probably leaked more goals than we would have liked. Even in a practice game, we leaked, I think, 15 goals, 9, and that's not a great return playing against a Carlton team that was missing a fair few of their starting forwards, and our backline was pretty full strength. A few tweaks here and there, missing a few players like Ben Patton, Jake Carlisle, question marks on him, but you still don't want to be conceding 15 goals under the roof. So it was a bit of a shootout. First quarter, 13 goals scored. There was some beauties in there. The key standouts overall was, Jack Loney kicked 4, and I think he finished with 18 or 19 disposals, which is huge for Jack Loney. That's a great performance. That to me cements his position in the forward pocket for round one. The other one, and he's had his question marks, from a lot of people last year. The big recruit that we got, the player that we thought would just hit the ground running last year, Brad Hill. That you've got to see Brad Hill live to understand how much this guy does off the ball. The amount of running, the kilometers that he would have covered tonight. Him and Sinclair were by far the hardest runners all day. They did not stop. I think it was about 10 to 15 minutes into the last quarter where I was with Joycey, and he said, that's the first time I think I've seen Sinclair off the ground. It took that long for him to have a rest, and he didn't need it. We struggled in that period where he wasn't on the ground, when Brad Hill wasn't on the ground. That it was probably mid-third quarter until about the mid to late last quarter, where I would have thought, that's where Carlton had the bulk of the possession. They got in first. They were playing harder. And, whether that was us just kind of slowing things down and taking it a bit easy, taking the foot off the pedal, I'd like to think it was that, because in the last 5-6 minutes, when they were pressing, we brought on Bytel, we brought on Mason Wood, McKenzie, these sort of guys. They gave us those fresh legs that we needed. Jack Steele came back on the ground. Our forward structure went back to normal, and we didn't play small like we went for early in that fourth, where it was a lot of Billings and Higgins playing deep, and that was probably just to give a rest to the McKernans, to the Kings, who he went off basically halfway through that last and stayed off, didn't want to risk him. But yeah, it was a great hit out. That's exactly what you want. We had an easy win last week against North, and we belted them, and we had a challenging game against a fast Carlton team that are on the up, and we still managed to kick over 120 points. That's 2 weeks in a row that we've kicked essentially over 20 goals, which is great. This week we conceded a bit more. And I think the bulk of that was stoppages about 15, 20 metres out. If you go and watch the replay, I reckon you can count, at least in the first 2 quarters, I counted 5 goals directly from a ball up 20 metres out. And that was their ruckman. We had Hunter, who I thought did some very nice things, kicked his early goal, was pretty good around the ground. But when it came to that situation, we weren't prepared, as well as Carlton were. A lot of our goals came from fast breaks and hitting up a lead, which was great. Their goals, bounce of the ball here. They had a few easy, lucky snaps, a couple of free kicks that I thought were a bit questionable. So they got a few nice ones. but they didn't stop coming at us, and that's what I liked. It wasn't a game where we could relax at any point, because Carlton were still trying. You know, Williams kicked his couple. Sard caused us a few problems. I thought Wilkie was excellent on Cripps. You know, Cripps played a lot of the game forward, and Wilkie was on him, and he beat him one-on-one. His timing to mark and punch was phenomenal. You know, Dougal Howard just does what Dougal Howard does. He punches the ball, he marks it, he rebounds. Caulfield was good without being outstanding. Hunter Clark did some nice things. But the clear standouts to me were Loney, Brad Hill, and Jack Sinclair. Those, to me, were the guys that won us that game. They set the tone. Their standard throughout the 4 quarters did not drop. And, you know, we've talked about Sinclair before. Last year, there were question marks on Sinclair. Can he break into this team with all these new recruits? Well, yes. He is one of the first names on the board right now. And I'm just going through the comments just quickly, but someone just asked the scores. The score, I think it was 99 to 125. So a 26-point win in the end. It didn't feel like it was that comfortable because Carlton kept coming, but it was good to get a few goals late. And, you know, that was another pleasing thing. Anytime Carlton challenged, they got within a goal, got within 2 goals. We were composed enough to get that goal, get another goal, slow the game down, and taking it easy. So overall, that's what you want in a hit out. We got a good crowd. Like I said, that's the positive, being back at the footy. And now we get some time off. We get to recover and come back against GWS in a couple of weeks in New South Wales. So excited for that. But the preseason was ideal apart from the injuries, you know, and that's the one thing that's really shit, isn't it? You know, seeing Frawley, we were right in front of that. Frawley chasing down, I think it was Mackay, and he just grabs that back hamstring, and you knew that was it. And to happen so early, it just, you know, kind of took the stuffing out of me a little bit, because you want pretty much the whole game to be, you know, everyone says preseason, just get through the game injury-free, win or draw or loss, it doesn't matter, just injury-free, everyone gets a run, and that's the main positive. But to have Frawley come off when you know, he's potentially a very important part of our backline now, when you're missing Patton, Carlisle's got question marks. This might actually bring Carlisle back into the foreground for everyone. But it'll be interesting to see what we do when it comes to GWS and how serious Frawley's injury is. But, you know, enough from me. That's my kind of take on it. I thought it was ideal. I thought we probably leaked too many easy goals from stoppages. That was the main thing. I think overall we probably won clearances, but when it came to around-the-ground stoppages, I thought they probably got to the ball first. Brad Crouch wasn't as physical as I thought he was going to be tonight. I thought Jack Higgins was very lively. Gresham had that game where he just got fitness and got a run on. Battle did some nice things without being outstanding, and Highmore came on and did some good things too. A few really nice intercept marks, and his foot skills were great. So that to me was great. So I'm going to go through some of the comments now, guys. Just bear with me. I'm going to scroll all the way to the top. Appreciate everyone tuning in as well. I know it's only a preseason game, so it's not really that, you know, some people don't really even watch them. I just love that footy's back. It's been that long even, you know, going to a game. Jake says, good to see your face. Campbell says, so keen to watch Sinclair this year, mate. He's wearing that number 35. He's got the thighs like Robert Harvey, but he's got the build now. He runs like Robert Harvey. He's got the endurance. So that number is fitting for Jack Sinclair. He's living up to that number. So that's great to see. Sinks Hill, the man love is real. That's from Darren. Thanks for everyone for sending stars as well. I really appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Christian says, what a game. Thought we were going to lose it there, but we hung on. Good job, guys. Premiers 2021. That's from Shane. Sean says, before we talk about the Saints, how good's having footy back in Melbourne? Mate, it's the best. To walk into a ground, to scan the ticket, to find that seat, which happened to be right next to the race that the boys were running out onto, so we got to see them come out. We got to clap them into the rooms after the game. Perfect spot. Great crowd, great vibes around the ground. You know, it couldn't have been better. So congratulations to both clubs, put on a good show, and to the supporters for just rocking up and bringing a really, really good energy to the ground. Was King injured? I don't believe so. He walked off the ground pretty fine. I thought Butler actually injured himself. He was right in front of us late in the game. But then it turned out it was just a corky, and he just finished the game on the bench. So that's okay. King's fine, I believe. Butler's fine. The main issue is Frawley. That's the main one that we need to keep a lookout on. Hopefully it's not too serious, a hamstring. Aaron says, think Blues fans thought it was for 4 points. Yeah, it takes over, you know. I was standing up yelling at the umpire. Joycey was giving shit to the umpires, even to Blues supporters sitting in front of us. It was good fun to just be back at the footy and get amongst the energy that we haven't had for over a year. Can't wait for the season to begin. That's from James. Luke says, thought Brad Hill was grouse. Mate, he was fucking amazing. That's the best he's played. Preseason game, I know, but if that's what he's going to deliver under the roof every week for St Kilda Football Club, geez, it's going to be hard to stop him. You know, he went head-to-head with Williams at times, and it was fun to just see them both kind of run off each other, but there's going to be weeks where people try to tag him, but that's when we need support from the rest of the team, and I'm sure he'll get it. Good even team effort. Yep, that's exactly right, mate. There wasn't an absolute star of the show. There were a couple that stood out to me, but across the board, everyone did their job, and that's what we did last year, and it's good to see that sort of rhythm has followed us into 2021. Missed watching you in the car after the game. That's from Stephen. Tim Membry, 2021 Brownlow medalist from Andrew. I don't know about Brownlow, but hopefully he has a big year for us. Aaron says, with both our big ruckmen out, we still win a snap and get first use of the pill. That's true. Hunter McKernan did a good job in the ruck. It was a makeshift ruck setup, but we did enough to get the chocolates, and their ruckman was very good. I thought Carlton's ruckman did a very good job around the ground. This one's from Nick. Saints looked very good in the first half. Second half was a bit sloppy. We struggled to hit targets in our forward line, and we let them run too much in the corridor. Yes, it could be a combination. We did rest a few of the main guys through that third and fourth quarter, so that would have affected everything. Also, I feel like it's just game sense, and we just slowed down, got a breather. We finished strong. And also the fact that this is only the second game in a year where we're playing a full-length game. The first quarter was 34 minutes. Second quarter was 33 minutes. I think the remaining two were over 31 minutes. That's a lot of running compared to the 16 to 20 minutes that they played last year. So a massive upgrade on the length of the game. So they're all, getting accustomed to that again. This one's from Marcus. Have to change Higgins' name to Sticks. Think he had 3 posters. God. He did mess up a few of those, but he's so exciting to watch. He's just a little pit bull. He just gets in, he gets out, he causes problems. Him, Loney, Gresham, and Butler are going to cause all sorts of problems for opposition players. And that second quarter, that was all them. It was all smalls. There was that passage where I think Butler missed the snap, but it was a build-up of all the smalls combining, and eventually we missed the goal. But it's going to be exciting to see the amount of chains that they put together running rings around the opposition. This one's from Darren. The Godfather reviews back in his natural habitat. Good to have footy back, mate. It's good to be back in the car, nice and warm. There's a bit of a hold up on getting out of the car park, so perfect timing to get the camera and have a chat. So very good to be back. This one's from Dylan. Good to see you again, Jakey. Hill and Higgins and Sinclair were fantastic. Agree with you there, mate. Thought Paul Hunter worked hard as well. Well done, Saints. Loved it. That's from Cheryl. Daniel says, go the mighty Saints. Well done. Was very happy, but the only thing was in the third quarter we dropped off. Very true, but we picked it up late, and that's the best thing. We weathered the momentum, and that's something I talked about in my preview the other day, was that we need to learn when teams get on top how to control that. And I thought they got 1 or 2 goals in a row, but every time they got a run on, we got 1 goal just against the flow of play and stop that momentum. So that was good to see. Clark, very good too. That's from Luke. Pleased with Hill tonight. Needed to fix in some areas. It's from Steve. Don't know what areas he needed to fix. I thought he was perfect. Jack Sinclair, mullet, running and service. Dukes was great. Go the Saints from Cheryl again. Everyone's just happy that footy's back, and why wouldn't you be happy? Butler's hair is very arousing. That's from Cram. This one's from Muldog. Great to see crowds back. Defensively needs work. Leaked too many goals. Best game Brad Hill's played for the club. Go Saints. Very true. Going forward, I don't think we need to tweak too much. We obviously rotated a lot of players going forward, which kind of hemmed that chemistry for a consistent, 4-quarter effort going forward. But defensively, that's where we leaked a few too many goals. So hopefully that's the focus on the track in the next week or two going into the GWS game. Highmore, when he came on, was good. Happy with his game. Fast footy, love it. That's from Praz. I won $191 from this game. That's from Luke. Lucky, mate. Butler is still insane. That's from Isaac. Loved being at Marvel tonight. So awesome. That's from Trudy. Thanks for the comments again, guys. Good to be back. Good to be talking to you. Going through a few months of no footy. It's a drain, I tell ya. And now it's just good to talk footy. Let's go through a few more and then I might wrap it up. Great to be back. That's from Peter. Christina says, come on, we won. Hunter the Ruckman did well, I thought. That's from Daniel. Yep, it's going to be interesting to see with Paddy Ryder going into the GWS game, who don't have strong ruck stocks, because I think they've got some injuries to deal with, whether we go with two or we go with the lone Ryder. But I think it'd be fine to go with Ryder and Hunter. It gives Ryder that chance to go forward and just pinch hit. And that means we don't have to put a McKernan in the ruck and we don't have to put someone like Max King in the ruck. And I don't want to ever see that this year. We've got enough players to cover Rowan Marshall for a few weeks. And he was there tonight and looking good and walking around and smiling as always. So hopefully he won't be too far away. But I think he's put his hand up for round one. I think everyone that played tonight is a good shout for round one. Seb Ross did some nice things. He also did the classic bomb into the 50 and didn't quite hit the targets like we want, but he did some nice things. He backed himself in traffic, and I love that. He got the ball, he shrugged a tackler, and he went for it. And he stuffs the kick, but the fact that he's going for those runs says that he's got that belief, he's got that excitement back, and he's not kicking backwards, he's going forwards. And that's what we've always wanted from Seb, was that, instead of just going the quick handball to the side, boring football, he's being aggressive, which might mean more turnovers, but I'd rather have a turnover in the 50, in the forward 50, than on a wing or, back flank where it used to be. What else we got? Everyone has predicted it's Sink's year. That's from Tim. Could be. He could be a sneaky for the best and fairest the way he's going, that guy. He definitely top 5 if he continues his form. McKernan, that's a good shout from Ryan. He probably took the most contested marks on the ground. He took some very nice marks. He did his job. That's essentially what we got McKernan for. He just operates around the ground. He plugs a hole. He's that dump kick mark. We just bomb it and he's there and he marks it 9 times out of 10. And he got his goal, missed a chance, but I thought his physicality was good. And it means that, Max King, member in battle, can get off the chain a little bit more because when he goes forward, he takes a big defender. This one's from Ben. Typical Saints fans getting ahead of themselves after giving up 99 points to Carlton. Mate, we just said it's a pracky game. I just said it's good to be back at the footy. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. It's good to get a win. A win's a win. It doesn't matter how. Carlton were clearly pushing. They had a few players out. So did we. And it was just a good spectacle and good to just talk footy again. But obviously, yes, we're keeping our feet on the ground. It's only a practice game. On that note, guys, I might actually call it. Thanks again for all the comments. Thanks again for tuning in and for the stars. Over 2,000 stars from you guys. Did not expect that for a review this early in the year, but really appreciate your support. If you didn't get a chance to watch this full video, it's going to be up on YouTube. It's going to be up on Facebook after it's done. Podcast is happening Monday or Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, we'll just continue to update you on Frawley and in the lead up to the big GWS game, which is only, what's the date today? The 4th, 17 days away. And hopefully, if everything goes right, I'll be there supporting the boys in Sydney. So that's going to be exciting if I can organise that, because it'd be great to get away and watch a game interstate straight off the bat, round 1 against GWS. So I might leave it there, guys. Thanks again for all the comments. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And thanks to the people at the ground that bumped into me, said hi, said, that they appreciate my work. And that means a lot, to get that sort of feedback. I really enjoy it. And if there's anything negative that the channel's doing or anything you want to see more of, DM me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm happy to chat. So, yeah, open door policy. Happy to chat anytime about Saints footy. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And I'll see you for the GWS preview in a few weeks. Till then, guys, go you Sainers.